Yeah, last Thursday. Yeah, yeah. Really, Tuesday to Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday to Tuesday. W week. Really just getting through it, staying strong, staying focused. Um, I've been trying my best to get some content. That content life hard, bro. It's hard, bro. It's hard. I don't know how y'all do it. Trying to get some content. Staying focused. The little things really. We're in June now. We had a 6 month mark. So you feel me? W 6 month mark. 6 more months left to go. And just trying to finish strong now. What about you, bro?
All right. Boom. All right, we good. Now the stream kicking in. All right. Um, but yeah, for me, man, this week was like it was more so just like reflection, bro, because we about to come up to this 6 month mark, this halfway mark. So this recent week, I just been like focusing on just reflecting and trying to see if I can change anything up coming these next 6 months. Because at the end of the day, bro, we here to grow now, and it ain't no more
Yeah.
playing in the summer. So it's like I'm taking this time to really understand what I want to do in the next 6 months, especially when it comes down to my content. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm ready for sure.
Really, really for me, like I'm thinking about like these next 3 months is kind of big for me because you know, yeah, we say 6 months, but like the journey really started 9 months ago. You feel me? For me,
Facts.
like it's been locked in for a little
Same.
minute now. So it's like even though it's 6 months, like these next 3 months is real important for me because yeah, really though, because that's that full year transformation where I can like really just sit and reflect from a whole year. And
That's
then,
facts.
3 months after that, I get to reflect from the whole year. So these 3 and 3, really, that's how I'm looking at it. 3 and 3. Third and fourth quarter, like we talked about. When
Yeah.
this is halftime, June is really where separation happens at, honestly. Like we always say, June is the halftime month, and then 3 months after that, and then 3 months to end it. So really, yeah, honestly.
I agree. That's fire, bro. And I'm on the same type timing, to be honest, bro. Now that you mentioned that, bro, like in 2 months, August 1st will literally be a full year. So these
Yeah, that's
next
how it is for me.
I agree, bro. These next few months is like very big and crucial when it come down to like that full year of
Yeah,
transformation
for
for
you.
sure. So I like that, man. I like
Yeah.
that you're growing with that, man.
For me, August 1st is when I took my shahada
Oh
when I became
shoot.
Muslim. So yeah, so August 1st is I'm looking forward to that. I'm striving to get back to that. Because that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
I
crazy.
like that, man. And man, getting into today, bro, what is the importance of sincerity? Right?
Sincerity, yeah, sincerity.
Thought I was saying that
Uh,
wrong.
I feel like sincerity is everything, right? Because a lot of the times we do things for like a reward, like a transaction, right? Like we think, oh, if I do such and such and such and such is gonna give me this. And you whenever you do anything like that, you lose the reasoning of it, right? Or you lose the real value, the purpose behind it. And a lot of times, like sincerity is really the face of everything, right? Because like the podcast, right? We have to always remember why we do the podcast. Like we don't do the podcast for the views, we don't do the podcast for the numbers, we don't do it for that. We do it for God, of course, and to remind and help people, right? So if we ever like go astray and we ever say, "Oh, bro, we got this amount of views," our sincerity is not going to be as the same. Our the way we present ourselves on the podcast is not going to be the same because we're not thinking about the reason of us doing it. So sincerity is really the face of everything. What about you? How do you feel about that?
I like that, man. And for me, man, sincerity, I agree, bro. It's everything. It's like I feel like for me, it's more how genuine you are, right? Like how genuine you is, how more connected you is to like other people and stuff like that. Like you said, like going out of your way to doing something nice, like without needing that reward for something, like being able to go outside and be nice and do something nice for somebody without needing something in return, or like you being able to like build being able to trust other people, right, with sincerity. Like if somebody comes to you with genuine and they're honest and you know what I'm saying, they're just authentic, they're just themselves, it's more likely that you'll be more friendly to them. Like it, you kind of
Yeah,
see you being sincere allows like other things to like flow to you. I don't know how to explain it. Like kind of like how we say all the time, like you put out good, you get good.
you're
It's
good. Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
man. You put out good, you be nice to others, you do things for others, you do things for God, and you start to get things in return, the good things in
yeah.
return. So I agree.
I like that you said that because that's really what like sincerity comes down to, right? Like, if you're doing things for like the sake of God, you won't really be doing evil things, right? Like, you wouldn't be, oh, I'm gonna go bet for the sake of God. Like, that doesn't go together, right? So if you're
Nah.
doing anything for the sake of God, you're only going to do good. Why? Because God only gives good, and I think that's like really the most important thing when it comes to sincerity. Because if you're doing things like, say, let's say for like instance, right? You want to give something to a homeless, you say, "Oh, I bet if I give this homeless person, another person will give me something," right? Like whenever you do, it's like a transaction, right? And whenever you're doing something to like receive, or just to be brag, or right, to say that, "Oh, I gave a homeless person this," or to do all these, like good deeds to be presented, right? And don't get me wrong, like you do your good deeds, but you don't do your good deeds for views. You don't do your good deeds to say that you're better than someone. You don't do your good deeds to you know to try to one up someone, right? You do your good deeds for the sake of God, right? Because the reward only comes from God, and the like we always say, like the reward is heaven, right? Like the reward isn't money, the reward isn't status, the reward isn't anything worldly, right? The reward is heaven. So sincerity takes you long, long way. Like it takes you far.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I like to pick up what you said. Like literally being cocky is like the opposite, bro. You know, you being cocky is like you said, you telling people, oh, I did this and I did that, or you feel like you deserve something because you did something, and that's really taking you, like you're slowly turning away from God if you really think about it, right? Because if you're aligned with God, you on your purpose, you realize that sincerity is like the main thing that God wants you to do. God wants you to be a sincere, to be genuine, to allow yourself to be connected with others. That's what God wants for us. But we turn away from that once we start to brag, once we start to feel like we're above somebody, once we start to feel like, it's like it's us versus them instead of all of us together. You get what I'm saying? So I
Yeah,
think allowing yourself to be sincere and not bragging or not being cocky is the best way to live. It's the best way to go because at the end of the day, like I said, you put out good, you attract good. So if you want good things in your life, you want to be successful, you want, a better life for yourself. You can't have yourself in that mindset of, you doing opposite, you doing wrong things, you doing bad things, you telling people that you did this, you did that, you know what I'm saying, bragging about
yeah,
your good deeds and stuff, which is not good. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So
I
I
don't.
have a question, like with the sincerity, right? Because how do you know when you're being sincere, right? Because like for me, like I do my best, right? But a lot of times I can say, am I doing enough, right? Because that's really what it be. A lot of times it's not like or am I being sincere? It's just, am I being sincere enough? So how do you know? What do you think, like the real like switch is?
I feel like that's like the what you're talking about is like I feel like most people that's how we think, right? We most of us just think like hold on. Like I don't know how to explain it, man. Ask your question one more time. I got you, bro.
Now you're good. You're good. How do you know when you're sincere enough?
Hmm. I feel like that question, like feeling like enough of anything, is where we get to. That's our own mindset. It's
Mhm.
inside of ourselves. That's kind of one of
Right.
those things. Like all the time we feel like we're not doing enough, but sometimes you have to sit down and think yourself that you are doing enough, that you are
Right.
doing what you're supposed to do, that you are doing a good thing. Because at the end of the
Right.
day, you doing a good thing at least one time a day is better than doing nothing every day. You get what I'm saying? And most of the times we tell ourselves that we're not doing enough, that we could do more, but that's really
Yeah.
on just ourselves blocking, right? That's just our own mindset that blocks us. Because you can you can say that with anything, like not even just about good deeds. Let's say like life in general, like us wanting to do content. We could be like, dang, I'm not doing enough content. I'm not feeling like I'm doing enough. But that's how most of us think, which is not so good because it's just yourself blocking. Like there's
Like,
nobody else telling you that you're doing enough because you really, in reality, you really don't have to do much, right? You really just need
yeah,
be alive, pray to God, and do good deeds, right? Like it's really not
like,
much you need to do. So
yeah,
you doing more things is a plus to yourself. You're just giving yourself
yeah,
pluses. Like think about like in a like say you were in a character in a game, you're just getting bonuses. Now you're just getting extra bonuses for the good deeds
yeah.
that you're doing. But it's not a limit to the amount of good deeds that you're doing. There's no limit.
Mm,
You can do
I
good
like
deeds
that.
every day for the rest of your life, or you could do a good deed maybe like once a week. You know what I'm saying? Once a
I like that.
month. But it's as long as you're doing something good and you feel it on the inside. If you don't feel good on the inside, then it won't be right. You will always feel like you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough. But in reality, it's just yourself blocking, bro. That's really it.
Yeah,
To answer that question, right? Yeah, it's just yourself. You just blocking yourself because you're never not doing too much. You're never not doing too less. You're doing enough. You're right where you need to be. So
I like that.
yeah,
Nah, I like that. I like that. That's the
what you
truth. That's
think
the
though?
truth. Like, I like that.
That's a good
Now,
question.
honestly, that's the answer I was like, kind of like, looking. That's the answer I was like, expecting. I'll be honest. Like, it's the only reason we ever feel like we're not doing enough because it's either one, what we see around us, and two is we think we don't have enough now, so we want more, right?
I
We
like that.
want we want all these things, so we try to like, and I'm happy like that was kind of like the question I asked because I want to lead towards this way. Like we feel like we don't have enough now, so we start to try to do more, and then when you start to do more, your sincerity drops, right? Because
Ooh,
you start to chase what you don't have, and you're not chasing what you need, right? Like you're not chasing what got you to where you at right now. And I think it's so important to understand that because whenever you feel like I say, you're not doing enough or you need to do more, you start looking for other ways. And whenever you start looking for other ways, guess what? You come off your track. And when you come off your track, guess what? You start to lose. You start to lose actually because why? You're not attracting. And whenever you're not attracting, you start to like, your brain runs, your brain goes where it wants to go.
yeah,
And your brain is going where it wants to go because you're not sincere about what you're doing. So it's so important to just, always be sincere and just stay on a straight path, right? Don't let yourself go astray. Like you said, like a lot of the times the battles is within. And that's why it's so important to just, like meditate, give yourself daily reminders, like just give time to yourself because whenever you give time to yourself, you're able to think about where you started at and you're able to think about how far you came. And once you do that, right, you start to realize like this whole time I haven't done much. This whole time I haven't woken up at 4 and start applying a job. Like you didn't do that to start off with, so why would you do it now?
yeah,
So it's really sincerity takes you, like we said, a long way because sincerity you can either lose it fast by trying to gain more or be more sincere by just doing right
yeah.
and not just being you. You know what I'm saying?
I like that, man. And to get into the kind of the next question, man. Can anyone become successful, bro? What do you think, man? Can anyone become successful?
All right. This in my honest opinion, my truthful honest opinion, I don't think everyone can be successful.
Mm,
That's how I feel. In my honest opinion, I feel like it's people who's chosen to be successful. It's people who's chosen to do certain things. Like everything is decreed for us, right? Like everything is written for us, and that's why people who try to force being successful don't become successful because it's
mm,
not for them. And I think like the main thing is how we look at success, right? Like, what is success to us? I think that's the most important thing because right now in my like
facts.
the time of my life, I feel like I'm so successful. Like I'm 21, I'm married, like you can't picture this, you can't dream this. You're peak success. But when we just talk about like the general the general speak of success of having your own house, having your own car, the way to live. That's what we're gonna talk about success. I feel like in my heart not everyone can be successful because not everyone is meant to be successful. If everyone is meant to be successful in this world, the world wouldn't be how it is. But the reason it's how it is because God, he knows best. He knows what we don't know. So to say everyone is meant to be successful, I I, I don't think I don't think so. I don't think everyone can be successful, honestly.
Mm,
What about you?
mm. Huh. Can anyone be successful? Well, the question is different, a little different. Can anyone
Yeah.
become successful? So, if I'm answering the question, can anyone become successful? I feel like for the most part it starts within. Like I agree with Dede. Like I feel like it's something that you have to be chosen for, but it's also something that like it's within. Like he said, like what what is success to you, right?
Yeah.
And if say like okay, say if it's just some random person, right? They're trying to become successful. They can become successful once they're aware that they're not successful. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
Ooh,
once
I
you
like
are
that.
aware that you're not successful, you will try to find a way to be successful. And I feel like you just have to be curious, right? Because if you're never curious about becoming successful, or you're never curious about thinking about success, you will never try to get it. You will never try to go out there and try, right? Because most of the time, what happens is a lot of people aren't quote unquote successful. Like we said, not successful. Like we both think that we're successful where we're at, but we're talking about
Yeah.
successful as in money and houses and all that, right? If somebody don't think they're successful, or somebody grew up not successful, they just grew up say they grew up not being success, they was in a family that just didn't care, right? It's kind of hard to become successful because you never visioned it. You never thought about becoming successful. You never thought about
Yeah.
the thought of being successful. So when it comes down to moments like that, it's kind of hard. But when you are curious, anyone can become successful. When I if I think so. If you're curious about it, if you want to find a way, you can become successful because it's not something that's hard to achieve. It's just something that builds within you. But that's a lot of things, a lot of like you said, a lot of people try to chase it on the outside and don't realize that it's just within.
Yeah. And that's why I think, okay, that's why I think like the most important thing is, right? Like a lot of times we think success is like what we acquire, but success is what's really within. And like and I think that's the main thing, right? I think, like I said, we have to know what success is, right? We have to, when it comes to success, we have to like know what we're talking about. Cause like I say, I'm successful in my heart. So if a person is successful in the art, and this is a perfect example, right? Like, how do we look at it? Like, let's say a person has all these things, and they have money, status, woo woo, whatever, but they don't feel like they have enough, right? So do we consider them as successful, but they don't feel like they're successful in their heart, or they feel like they haven't done enough? Like, how do we
Mm,
generalize success? Like, what is the topic of success? And then my biggest thing, right, is like, if everyone is successful, like, where's the balance, right? Like, everyone wants, if everyone's successful, everyone wants power, everyone wants to be better than someone. But we have homeless people who don't have nothing, right? And how do we know how successful they are? Like, I feel like in my heart, right? If I see a homeless person happy as ever, they just going day by day, they know this world means nothing. And then if I see a homeless person, I mean, like a rich person complaining about, oh, my window broke, or I don't have enough, this and this and this and this. I'm in my head, like, I'm going to think the poor person is more successful based on their heart. And and
yeah,
and that isn't, and the house and all this doesn't make the poor person less successful, right? And then on top of that, like, if I see a poor person, I'm gonna give the poor person money, and that $1 can make him feel rich. You feel what I'm saying? So it's all about how we base success. And in the general aspect of housing and this, I don't think everyone can be successful because it's not meant for everyone. Like, what's for us will come for us. Like, it's some poor people are probably meant to be poor because they have a higher place in heaven. That's, swear to God, like, stop for, swear to everything I love. That's how I feel about it. Like, just because what we think and how we see things doesn't make it right. Like, it's always more. It's always another side to the story. Like, a
that's
poor person can
facts.
be poor on earth but rich in heaven. A rich person can be rich in. Why do you think like all these people kill themselves? Like, the rich people, they kill themselves because they don't have God in their life, right? They don't have a true heart. They don't have a pure heart.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's all about how we view success, in my opinion.
I agree, bro. I agree, man. And but I do want to add one thing though that
Yeah,
I kind of like want to question is like, okay, so say if like somebody did is a poor person, right? Or they say they're homeless or whatnot, and So what makes you think like what makes you think that they would be more successful like in heaven, right? Or like in heaven when it comes down to like a homeless person, right?
Yeah. So what in my opinion, right? What makes a person be more successful in having right wealth? Honestly, is the biggest test, right? How we manage our wealth. A rich person can overly spend and not overly give, but a poor person they don't have they don't have much to give but prayers, right? And what's better to get to heaven is
That's
praying,
true.
right? Is constantly thinking about God. Is constantly thinking about this is going to get better. I'm not worried about this, right? But if you're a rich person, successful person, what's on your mind? What's on your mind constantly? Money. Oh, I need to get more money. I need to do this. I mean, some people, not all wealthy people, it really just depends. But majority of the wealthy people, yeah, they thank God, but they don't thank God as much as a poor person. And don't get me wrong, because like a poor person can think, oh God, why me? God, why me? It really it's all on the scale. But honestly and truthfully, like when you dead broke down at the bottom, what do you think about the most?
That's facts.
God. It's nothing to think about, right? You just think about God, give me heaven. God, like help me. Like I need help. I need help. I need help. And when you're constantly asking God for help, what He's gonna do? He's gonna help you. And even if He doesn't help you on earth, what earth doesn't matter, right? Like the goal is heaven. So in my head, when I see poor people, I think of heaven, because it's like you having all these hard times now. You're going through so much, and don't get me wrong. Some people put themselves in that situation, but once they get in that situation, all they can do is ask God for help to elevate them. And once they get elevated, and they get the help from God, that's like a gateway to heaven, right? And think about like am I this is how I look at everything. I think about myself, right? I come from a big family, a lot of siblings, woo de woo, and we didn't have much growing up, right? So to just be where I'm at now, and I'm not saying like we're poor, like homeless poor, how the people was poor, but I'm saying like where I'm at now and where I was at before, all I can do is thank God, right? And so I couldn't imagine a person who was poor back then and is poor now. Like all they've been thanking God their whole life. So there's no way in my head they don't get the highest level of heaven, because they don't have money to give, but the money they do have to give, if they give it $1 from $10, that's bigger than $1,000, no, $100 from $10,000, because you have way more money to give, but you're still not giving it. You feel what I'm saying? And it's so easy to be a hypocrite with your money because you feel like this person doesn't deserve it. Or a lot of the times, like, oh, if God wanted to bless them, He would have blessed them. What if you was the reason? What if you having that wealth was God a way to bless that person, but you didn't do what God commanded you to do? You feel what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like it's so many. It's like wealth is the biggest test. We just overlook it because it's all we want. And a poor person, they don't want wealth. They don't want status. They just want help and help in any way. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I think not everyone can be successful, because success comes in so many ranges. I mean, everyone can be successful, yeah, but not in the world, not in the houses, the fashion. It's not possible. We need a balance. Some some wealthy people have to do their duty and help the poor people, and some poor people just got to keep praying. You feel what I'm saying? Like we had the rock bottom. What could you do? Pray,
yeah,
and that's the easiest way to heaven.
that's facts.
Easiest way.
That's facts. But what if do you think that they would be thinking about that though? Like I feel like most homeless people that I run into, I feel like none of them really be like, no, like thinking on that level. Like most of them just be doing what they doing. Like, cause if you think about it, like the way I'm thinking about it is like, okay, most homeless people that I usually see or whatever, they usually like be on some type of drugs or like they be, like
Yeah,
they're doing something or they're not doing what they need to do to make it to heaven. You get what I'm saying? Or even
yeah,
if they're not being so successful or wealthy, you can like kind of see it off of them, right? They don't necessarily
yeah,
be happy. Like most of the time they kind of, sad, upset, which I agree. Like you said, they are looking for help. But I also think like they're in their situation because they're not doing anything to get out of it either. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, yeah, prayer can take you so far, but you also have to put in some type of work. You get what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
if you think about with us, like to get wealth and stuff like that, yeah, you gotta pray, but you also gotta maintain that wealth. You gotta keep that
yeah,
wealth. You gotta be able to give away. You gotta be able to do good deeds with it. And what
yeah,
I'm thinking is like homeless people, they're not really using their money in a good way, right? They're not using their wealth that is given to them in a good way, which is why they end up in this position. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's what I think. But what
yeah.
would you think about? What would you say about what I just said now? Like now that you
No,
heard that?
Nah,
I'm
to
still
okay,
like,
to go off of that, right? What you're saying is 100% right. I'm not taking out from you because
oh
I
yeah,
completely agree. Like a lot of times homeless people be in situations because they put themselves in situations, but like honest and truthful, like what's for us is written already, right? Like whatever's for us is already written. And even though
yeah.
like yes, sometimes we get to choose our paths and which way we go and et cetera, et cetera. But like everything was already written before time. So if God written for them to be poor and to, maybe be a drug addict and this and this and this and this, etc. Maybe in heaven, or if they get the opportunity to go to heaven, wherever they go, if they go to heaven, we don't know. It's like they gonna have a better life up there, right? Because if you're a drug addict, right, like you have to have a reason. No one just becomes a drug addict because they're a drug addict, right? And God doesn't hurt us for things we don't know, or God doesn't hurt us if we don't have a no God, yeah, God doesn't hurt us if we don't have like a reason, right? Like if we just did it because we see somebody else do it, or we just did it without knowing the like we just do things just to do it. We don't get punished for that, right? Because we don't know. So if a person, was homeless and they did drugs, but they was brought up on drugs, how do they get punished for that, right? Like how do they
Yeah.
get punished for being brought up on drugs through their family? Or like let's say a homeless person, they had a lot of wealth and they use it in the wrong way. How do they get punished for not knowing how to manage your money? Right? Like what if the wealth was a test and they didn't manage it right? So God took it away from them to not harm them more, right? To not let them go far astray, right? Like
Mm.
it's so many things to think positive about a homeless person, but the first thing we do is run our mind to negative. Like we say, oh, that person, especially like a lot of the times when you see a homeless person, they come from the army, right? They come from military,
Facts.
this, right? And let's say they went to the army and they was guaranteed promised all these things, but they didn't get it. So how do we react to a homeless person like that? Like is so many ways to like look at a homeless person where we just look at them so like ill. But honestly, in my head, I don't look at a homeless person like ill. Like I said, like first thing I think of like heaven. Like and think about this: you constantly repenting, like you're constantly repenting. God forgive me. God forgive me. Please forgive me. Like you're constantly repenting. And what's the
Facts.
easiest way to heaven? Also, seeking for forgiveness. So it's like they're doing more things. Even though they could be crackhead, even though they could be doing all these things, they're remembering God way more than a rich person remembering God. Because when
Yeah.
you're rich, you're not. Like don't get me wrong, you're thinking about God for everything you acquired, but you're not thinking about God as much as a poor person thinking about God because they're constantly seeking for forgiveness. They're constantly asking for a way out. They're constantly doing more to get back to God.
That's facts. I agree, man. I agree. That's where I wanted to really hear. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
like they have the most time. They got that freedom. They got that space. They don't. They're not working two jobs. They're not working a job. They're there. They're being grateful. They're being thankful for what they're receiving when
that
they are
too. That
receiving.
yeah, that too. Poor people are so. Think about when you give a poor person $1 compared to when you give a rich person $100. Who's more grateful? And like,
Yeah.
and don't get us wrong. Don't get us wrong. You might give a poor person $1 and they might go buy drugs with it. Whoop de doo. It's not we can do about it, right?
Yep.
But if I would give a poor person $1, they way more happy. We can literally go do a test. We can go give a rich person $1 and a poor person $1. Who's gonna be more happy with that dollar? Who's gonna be more grateful? Who's gonna
Yeah.
be more like, oh, thank you, God? Like if I give a person, they gonna look at me like, do I need a dollar? Do I look like a person gonna say, do I look poor to you? That's what a person would say. Do I look poor to you? If I
Yeah.
give you $1, if you give a poor person $1, thank you so much. I needed this. Like, thank you, God. Like, God bless you. Think about that. A rich person's not gonna say, God bless you if you give him $1. Nah, only a
Facts.
poor person would say that. You feel what I'm saying? And and
Facts.
and that's success. And to me, that's success, right? Like I think, in my honest opinion, right, success is the most successful people is who remember God the most. That's how I look at
True.
success. In my honest opinion, like
Yep.
like whoever thinks about God the most is the most successful. Why? Because they understand that this world means nothing, right? They understand that like all this money, this thing, it doesn't mean nothing, right?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like a rich person can be just as successful by remembering God too, right? Because they use their wealth in a way to help other people because they constantly remember God.
Yep.
So it's like it's really just all on how we view success. But to be successful in this life, I don't think it's meant for everyone. It's few people chosen and selected for it.
I like that, man. I like that, man. I agree, bro. Like you said, man. it ain't for everybody, bro. It's really depend on you, bro. Like if you want to be successful, you gotta try, man. And hey, it's not for everybody though. It's gonna be hard. And that's another thing. A
Yeah,
lot of people can't sit here and go through the hard stuff. Some people can't sit here and grind for 6 months. Some people just don't have the attention span for it, right?
that's
Some
true.
people can't
Yeah,
sit down and grind hard for 3 hours and make a living, right? Like these are things that you have to consider when becoming successful. Is like it's very much time management. If you can't give yourself
yeah,
time, you won't even give success time. You get what I'm saying? If you don't give yourself the time of day, 2 hours, you can't. If you can't sit with yourself for at least 30 minutes a day to an hour, it's gonna be very hard to become successful because you'll always be trying to chase something, and Lord knows what it is, but you'll always be chasing something, and it won't be success because at the end of the day, like we said, bro, success is not what's on the outside. So you chasing something, it
yeah,
wouldn't be success. So I agree, bro. I
yeah.
agree, man. W topic.
And I completely agree with that too because, like we said, like a rich person only is going to want to chase more success, right? They're only going to want to acquire more. So how successful are they? You feel what I'm saying? Like a poor
Yeah,
person is only going to chase what? It's only so little you can chase when you're poor. Like only thing you can chase is another dollar, another day. That's the
yeah,
only thing you can chase when you're poor. And you know, some don't get me wrong. Like I say, some poor people might chase another drug, another moment of high, but some majority of poor people chasing to see another day,
yeah.
literally. But a rich person chasing to see another 100 mil
Mm,
is levels to success. Like, and that's how I look at it. That's how you gotta look at it. Like, on the outside world, success is not meant for everyone, and especially too, like I say, is those who are successful are they using their success in a way to help others? Are they using their success to a way to get closer to God? Is so many ways because wealth is the biggest test. Like we're not all meant for the test of wealth. We can't handle it. And God protects us. That's another thing too. Like we look at it like, oh God, why haven't you listened with this? God, like He's protecting us. He's not going to just like put us in a situation where we acquire so much wealth and we just use it in a way that destroys us.
yeah,
No, he will protect us. He is His protection is better than any protection. Is His protection is unimaginable, right? Like right now, I can be here and my house can be burning. I got saved, right? You see what I'm saying? Like His protection is so real. We just have to be appreciative of it.
yeah. I agree, man. I agree. That's facts, bro. I got nothing else, man. I got no other questions. You got any more questions?
Nah, that's
Nah,
really it,
man. What's your closing words for today, man? This episode 44.
man. My closing words gonna be: "What's for you will come to you. Don't chase. Like
Mm,
whatever for you, it will come to you. So just continue to just be you. You know, just continue to just have a good mindset. And we have to look at the world like we have to be real, right? Like we have to be 100% with yourself. A lot of us we try to like sugarcoat things with ourselves. You can't unlock levels like that. You have to be truthful and be honest to yourself. So my closing word is gonna be whatever's for you is will come to you, and keep it a thou with yourself all times.
that's facts, man. My closing words for today. I'm gonna say, man, there's levels, like Dede was saying, but there's levels to success, bro. Like and you have to figure out what success means to you, because like we said, there's all types of levels of success. You could be success having house, kids, whatever. You could be successful, just in your mind and just having kids. And success can mean a family. A success can mean you getting this job. Success can mean you finally did something you wanted to do, which was like, I don't know, maybe you doing a handstand for the first time ever was success to you. You
Yeah,
just, I feel like we've all are already successful. You just have to remember it. You just have to remember in your mind that you are successful, because at the end of the day, there's something that you did in the world that made you think that you were already successful before. So what makes it different now? You get what I'm saying? So always have that mindset that you are successful, because you've done plenty of things that you've done for the first time, and you've done it with a good job, and you that made you successful in whatever moment that was, man. So
yeah,
yeah, bro, I would just say there's all types of levels of success. It just depends on you. It's just what you view success as, man.
yeah.
But yeah, this is episode 44, man. We'll be back live not next, but
Thursday.
Thursday, 8 p.m. time, man. Love y'all boys, man. Y'all boys enjoy y'all nights, y'all days. Peace out, man.